And then once we move onto the challenge course, the competitors will be allowed a very innovative 2 retries for the entire course with a maximum of 1 per obstacle. If they fall on both and use up both their retries, then their run will be over. It's a much longer course, so it's very common for our ninjas to use at least one of their retries to complete. And we are going to be looking for the top 4 athletes who we will be taking with us to Washington later this year.
That's right. And of course, our athletes having to narrow it down to 4 per division, super duper tough considering we are looking at the top 25% of athletes, either from regular season standings or from the Tier 1 championships from this previous season. They are already among the best of the best, and it's going to get even more competitive as the Premier Series continues. And of course, Premier Series finals taking 40 athletes from each division. Having those titans battle it out at Lifeforce is going to be one of the, if not the, best competition that the World Ninja League has ever put on, and I cannot wait to see what happens and who's going to take home the titles this year. But first, we have to find out who's going to finals, and it starts here in Austin on the placement course. Let's take a look at some of our competitors here. A lot of athletes in the amateur division jump out to me. The amateur division is a combination of the young adult, adult, and masters divisions from the regular season. And so those athletes will all be coming together. Being in those divisions myself, I recognize quite a few names. Brennan Ramsey is going to be one to look out for. He won Tier 2 a while back, if I'm not mistaken, in 2023, and has quickly progressed through the Tier 1 standings. He did very well, placing in the top 30 at Worlds. Louis Moore, Coach Lulu, is one of the staples of the Texas Ninja community. He's a great coach. He's super sportsmanlike, and he also can tear up a course. I would not be surprised if we get 1 or 2 buzzers from him. You'll see him running 7th on your screen right there. Matthew Nimri also placed in the top 20 alongside Lulu in the World Championships, so he's going to be one to look out for. And running last for the amateur male division is going to be Ryan Cooper, who placed 2nd in the young adult division at the World Championships this past June. So he is likely the favorite to win, but any one of these athletes could absolutely take over on the leaderboard. You can also see Grant Kinningham has signed up. He was not on our roster prior to this. I think he just made the split decision to sign up. Grant Kinningham might have just shaken up the favorites list here. Grant placed 5th at the World Championship. And the year before that, I believe he was 4th. So definitely a big one to look out for. He'll be running first, and he'll actually be switching up to the elite division per a conversation I had with him at Worlds in this coming season. But as we said before, standings for the Premier Series are based off of last regular season, putting Grant in the amateur division. And he is definitely going to be one to look out for as we look into this amateur male division. Now for the amateur female division, we do have a smaller but very competitive field. Layla Helmer and Kristen Brickner are 2 very strong athletes. Layla maybe has a bit more of a higher chance of winning, you could say, being our South Central regional champion in the regular season. But at the same time, since there are 2 athletes in this division today, the goal will be to beat 3 obstacles on the challenge course in order to qualify for finals. They don't necessarily have to beat each other. They just have to beat those first 3 obstacles. And the same applies to our elite male division, which is going to consist of 3 athletes: Flip Rodriguez, Leo Riveron, and Jonathan Bange, 3 very talented and capable athletes. So I'm very excited to see how they're going to take these courses on. Again, they just have to beat those first 3 obstacles as well, and I think it's well within their capabilities.
Yeah, that's definitely right, Kane. And I would say there's still a fair bit of pride on the line, because at the end of the day, our minds will also be fast-forwarding towards Washington later this year, where we're going to be bringing together the top 40 ninjas from each of our divisions. And so getting a win here at this Premier Series qualifier is going to give you so much of a confidence boost. when it comes to excelling in Washington later this year. And Kane, we can see the obstacle names there. We're starting to get a little bit of a look of what's in store for us. So we've got the shrinking steps, something we're all quite familiar with, followed by the spider walk, the rolling log, Greg's obstacle. We'll have to wait and see what that involves. Tilting spine, Mega Charizard, and Roach replica. So a lot of really innovative and cool names there. They don't give away much about what the obstacles could entail, but I think we're all going to be really excited to see these top 11 take on this course. So many stacked individuals in the amateur male lineup who could, we're going to definitely see some of these individuals step up into the elite male division in the years to come. And with 11 spots, we're going to be whittling them down to 4. And for us as commentators, that's where it gets really exciting. We get to see the ninjas really push themselves to their limits, really try to innovate on these courses because they know just how tight it is to make it into the top 4.
So correct there, Jack. And again, this is going to be such a fun course here. The time limit has been set to 1:15 for our athletes today. And that back half, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th obstacles, definitely going to be on the more time-consuming side. They're not the trickiest obstacles in the world, but that means that the true nemesis of this course is the clock. Those last 3 obstacles, the tilting spine, Mega Charizard, and the Roach replica, are all linked obstacles, which means our athletes will not be touching down on the ground unless they hit that buzzer or if they fall. So it's going to be a big dash to the buzzer while also being a slight test of the endurance there, which I think will come in handy for the challenge course. If they can push through that stretch of obstacles there, I like their odds coming into the challenge course.
I like those odds too, Kane. And before we commence the runs, which are going to be starting very shortly, I think we're going to take a quick moment just to thank our sponsors for the World Ninja League and for this Premier Series competition, who without this competition would not be made possible. We're going to start with DGS Ninja. For those of you out there who run a gym or want to take their ninja skills to the next level, DGS Ninja has you covered. Not only do they have some of the best ninja supplies in the world, but they have the toughest obstacles hands down. So if you want to purchase some obstacles, be sure to go check them out at DGS Ninja. And as you can see on the screen there, you'll be looking at our 2023 world champion, Addie Herman, who is actually a DGS-sponsored athlete. It's really cool to see how far this sport has come. And not only is Addie Herman a DGS Ninja, but there is a whole team now of DGS-sponsored athletes, which is really exciting to see. So big shout out to DGS Ninjas once again for supplying us with the obstacles today. They're going to be pushing our ninjas to their limits.
And of course, alongside DGS is our other major sponsor, NinjaWorks, the ultimate ninja timing system, making sure that all of the time limits and results are logged accordingly and looking all nice and schmancy fancy with our WNL team as well on stream for all of you guys. If you guys want to see our results, the leaderboards will be pulling up thanks to NinjaWorks on stream, but if there are any results that you may have missed, you can check out worldninjaleague.org, because thanks to NinjaWorks, we're updating all results from all competitions in real time on that website. So once again, worldninjaleague.org. Shout out to NinjaWorks for making that possible. Very, very valuable and super, super appreciative of all the work they do. Now, my friends, it is time to jump into the placement course in just a bit. Taking a look one more time at the obstacles here before our first runner is going to come in, and I believe our first runner is going to be Grant Kinningham, and I think that means we're going to be starting off with a clear.
I think so, and we've seen time after time when these really strong ninjas come out the gate and set a clear in a fast time as well, it sets a very high standard that can often cause other ninjas to stumble because they crumble under that pressure, Kane. We saw that last week with our reigning world champion in the elite male division, Jackson Erdos. He came out the gates in the challenge course pretty early on in the run order and just blitzed the course. And then we saw a wave of ninjas failing to meet those expectations and just crumbling under that pressure. So hopefully Grant Kinningham can put on the pressure as well, put on the burners, and show us why he's one of the best in the amateur male division.
I completely understand where, you can never say that it's a guarantee for any ninja, but at the same time, Grant Kinningham is a professional. he has so much poise when he runs, but so much aggression and dominance as he tackles courses, especially speed courses. He hasn't really fallen on stage 1 or 2 at Worlds for quite some time now. It's just stage 3 that gets him, but stage 3 gets everyone in the amateur division pretty much. But Grant's been under the brightest lights that you could be under when it comes to Ninja. And I think being in a familiar environment like Austin Ninjas, he's in his home state, home region. He knows how obstacles feel. I have a feeling that we're going to see a very calm, collected run. I think it's less of a question of is he going to clear, and it's more of a question of will he have the fastest time. And I think we're going to find out right about now as Grant is at the starting line. Grant coming out of Houston, trains over at Iron Sports.
Grant is bringing a huge reputation here to this qualifier. It's very exciting to have him as our first competitor. He's got a big smile on his face. He's eyeing up the course here. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be our first chance to take a look at the course that has been built for us here today. It's going to be a speed course, 1:15 on the clock. Grant begins his attack on this 7-obstacle course.
And I love that he's running through that spinning log and jumping straight into the twist and fly hold. Nice link dismount there, coming into the tilting spine. Once again, folks, these last 3 obstacles are all linked together. No platforms until the very end at the buzzer. Touch point there's going to be that bar.
Grant is moving with great pace here. 45 seconds still on the clock. He is flying through this course. Obstacle 6 so far, you can see. Moving from obstacle to obstacle. There's no stopping points here. He might be tiring a little bit, just struggling to get that drop, and he gets it. Now he's got to build up the momentum.
And just like that, I think he's going to need one more backswing with a smile on his face. Grant Kinningham's going to start us off with a buzzer on the placement course. 56 seconds flat.
Wow. And I think a lot of the other competitors are going to be watching on, knowing that that's going to be the bar that they're going to need to match if they want to make it into the top 4. Grant showed so much strength all round. There was definitely opportunities for optimization, but I mean, hey, being the first one on this course, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of things to learn. And I think the remaining 10 competitors are going to be eyeing that up, taking some lessons learned from that. And I'm excited to see the timer hopefully go down even further, Kane.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And up next is an athlete who can absolutely get another buzzer. This is Josh Van Zeeland, the Van Zeeland family, a very talented group of ninjas. And we've got Josh and Luke repping that name today. I'm very excited to see what time is going to be put up. And I agree what you said about Grant running first. Being the first runner, you can maybe not see all of the quick shortcuts you could take on the course. But perhaps Josh will have taken some notes from Grant's run and could potentially beat that 56-second time.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And it's going to be interesting to see how Josh learns from Grant's run. And I tell you what, he is moving through with so much pace. Kane, this is really going to be...
A little slip there. He's trying to grab the top, but the vertical part of those pills can be so tricky to grab. If you're only hitting the top with your fingertips, the sides will make you slip being vertical. Now you can see that tilting spine really taking some seconds away, but Josh, good thing he's burning through this back half already, burned through that first half like nothing, but a one-handed catch on the bowl, and he's going to dunk on it and come down. A good try from Josh. Was absolutely flawless on that first half. Really used the momentum from the obstacle beforehand to carry into the next obstacle. And I think that's the right way to approach that first half there.
Yeah, that is a significant grab that Josh has now highlighted, just how far you do have to fly. And this is the disadvantage of going early on, is you're the ones that are most likely to make the mistakes. As we move on to his brother, Luke Van Zeeland. Let's see if he can one-up Josh and see how he goes.
Luke Van Zeeland, probably the member of the Van Zeeland family I'm the most familiar with in terms of resume. I do think that we could be looking at another clear here. Coming out of True Momentum Elite, he's very fast. I will say that. very fast.
Well, that's going to play into his strengths here as Luke begins his run on the placement course. Yes, I think you are very much right, copying exactly what Josh, his brother, just did. But he's not going to make the same mistake on the pill, just one-arming something that is extremely slippery. He knows time is of the essence here.
Ooh,
now that
great
is a
grab
very
as
awkward
that
move because
spine tilted up.
That spine tilting makes it very difficult. As you can see, no touch points, no stopping points here, just touch points as he makes the grab, one-upping his brother hopefully here as Luke moves through this obstacle. Just trying to get that grab. It's a far grab, but he's got the reach. And now just trying to not make the dropping down awkward here. But he's losing a lot of time here, Kane.
Well, he definitely has the time. He's going to need one more backswing. It's not going to be the fastest time, but he is going to get a buzzer if he can get out probably on this swing. And Luke Van Zeeland is finisher number 2. 1 minute for a clear. Great job. You can see just the mad dash through that first half. I love that they're running through the spinning log and then linking through obstacle number 4, Greg's obstacle there. A nice dismount as well. Really scrambled there. You could tell he was trying to get to that buzzer as quickly as possible. And that's going to put him in second place for the time being, just ahead of his brother. But with 8 more athletes to go in this division, this leaderboard is anything but set in stone.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see, I guess, is there a rivalry between the two brothers and whether or not Josh is happy about Luke's run or if they're trying to one-up each other all the time. But next up, someone who definitely has the potential to contest that top spot, Asa Solberg, going to be lining up here as he begins his run on the placement course.
Asa placed top 20 at the World Championships and is actually Luke's teammate. Took a little extra swing there on the 4th obstacle. So if there is a rivalry, perhaps it's between, these fellow friends who are, a little friendly rivalry between teammates. Wow, nice lock-offs to really control the grab there. Maybe not the fastest, but that's the most controlled we've seen athletes work through that tilting spine. He's going to pop up to that bar to get the touch point very shortly on that bowl. Now for the big grab over to those hooks. You have to stay on the white tape. So you can see that the reach is a little awkward there, but Asa got it. And currently, Asa Solberg set to have the fastest time. If he can get out soon, should be good to go on this backswing. And there it is, with a time of 53 seconds. Asa Solberg jumps into first place.
I'll tell you what, Kane, I don't think I've ever seen someone so relaxed on a course and yet go on to set the top time there. Asa just flew through that course and yet looks so calm, so controlled on so many different parts of those obstacles. His lock-off is crazy, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how that benefits him in the challenge course as we move through to our next competitor. We are flying through these amateur male competitors. Wade Weber stepping up to the platform, competed in 12 comps this season, placed 4th overall currently in the standings.
And you can see Wade took a couple extra moves there. He's on the taller side, so being stuck in a smaller frame of the spider walk might be a little tougher for him, but links out of there. Still making really good time. Let's use that reach to his advantage. Yes, great grab there. He's going to prop himself up. Now, how's he going to approach this? Nice gibbon over, kind of pops his hands, matching technique.
Wade is using his reach.
Down the slider. Now that touch point is the bowl, so he's got to make contact, which he does. Now that reach can be so awkward, but the wingspan coming into play here, and now he just has to generate swing. You can see him turning around, but Wade Weber is eyeing up that dismount. Should be good to go right now, which he launches. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. His foot tap. No!
Oh, no.
Oh, man. And I think it was just one of the consequences of coming at it without facing forward right away. We saw him facing backwards. He tried to give himself a little 180 before that dismount, and I think that just slightly threw off the alignment in his legs. Unfortunate way to go out, but still put up a great time to that point. Very excited to see how he takes on the challenge course later.
Definitely. As we move through to Brennan Ramsey, Brennan placed 8th in the standings as of current, 28th in the 2024 World Championships, and has competed in a total of 4 comps this year. So a great resume coming into this competition. He's going to take a backswing here. Kane, I think what we're starting to realize as a trend is you're going to have to get a completion here if you want to be in that top 4 or even have a remote chance to be placed in the top 4 coming into the challenge course. Brennan moving extremely well through this course so far.
Good maneuvering on that slider. Getting up to that touch point on the bowl. Doesn't want to lâché up to it, just going to do a big static. He's going to need another big static here as he reaches for that hook. Ooh, a little struggle there, but he got his hand. He's made contact, and now he's going to have to build up a swing. Coming into that final stretch here. Still making great time swing as well. Could be the fastest time. Taking a look here, it's 52.1, just a second ahead of Asa. Brennan Ramsey hops at the top of the leaderboard.
Brennan showing us why he's one of the best here today. I think one of the benefits he had is he didn't waste time on that final obstacle with building up his swing. It only took him 2 swings to get himself to that dismount platform, and that is the benefit of going later in the competition. They're starting to realize that it's going to be awkward no matter how you grab that final obstacle, and so they're just quickly grabbing. They come into it with no momentum, and it's whoever can build it up the quickest really going to be making that time save there. 4 completions, 2 falls to this point. Lewis Moore is going to be next up on the chopping block. We are competitors. Yeah.
Coach Lulu, you probably have seen him on the sideline for a lot of athletes. If you're a Texas Ninja local, or if you've been tuning in the Premier Series this weekend, Louis placed in the top 14 at the World Championships. He's a great dude, this guy. And I'll share some stories on the challenge course, but right now, if I started one, he'd be moving so fast that I'd run out of time to tell it. Just like that on the second half of the course already. Working his way up, a little hand slip there. And a nice reach out.
He is applying a greater sense of... He's going with a much greater sense of urgency than what we've seen so far from some of our other competitors. Louis making good time here with 40 seconds on the clock. We know he's going to be able to finish. The question is in what time begins the build-up of that swim.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's good to go right here. And Coach Lulu, he could have gone. I think that costs him the fastest time. Would have had it, I think, but 52.7 still going to put him in second place, just 0.6 seconds behind our fastest time. Almost a little stumble there early on, but he quickly recovered as if nothing happened. Made his way over to that final obstacle with ease. And let's take a look there. Yep, just 0.6 seconds behind Brennan. Still an awesome job. We'll be seeing Louis run later on the back half of our challenge course run order, with 5 runners, remaining. We're going to take it back to the starting line for AJ Schelper.
AJ coming out of Texas Titans, which is what we love to see. He's 3rd in the standings as of current, so a very strong competitor. It's clear he's a tall individual, so hopefully he can use that wingspan to his advantage here on this placement course. And he is attacking it with really good pace. Very close call there on the rolling log, but looking very cool.
Fingertips on the link there, but he got through, and now he's moving through that tilting spine, staying locked off. The more locked off you are, I'm noticing there's less movement in that spine, allowing you to reach your target a little easier. And a great hop over to the slider, going to kip himself down and up to that bar. Touch point is the bowl, which he gets. 1 obstacle remaining with 35 seconds left. We could be looking at yet another finisher here. The question is, how quickly can he do it?
That was a very good approach there on hopping onto that last obstacle. He's building up his swing here, 20 seconds on the clock. We're about to find out how he placed. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. 54 seconds is definitely not a bad time. AJ can be super happy with that, and it's going to put him probably at around 5th or 6th place at the moment. AJ showing great wingspan there, great techniques all around, and a great strength on that on that vertical climb that you have to do along the pills and the steering wheels. As AJ is actually going to be in 4th place, I'm mistaken, with Luke Van Zeeland in 6th as our 6th finisher of today. And we're going to be moving into our next competitor.
This is Thiago Lima. Thiago placed in the top 20 at the World Championships this past June. Definitely another speedster who can take home the win today, but right now wants to focus on getting a fast time on the placement course. Good pop right through.
Wow.
Beautiful pop through on the twist and fly straight into that bar. He's going straight for the rope. I don't think that's going to work. And he's rethinking his strategy here, making adjustments. That spine just a little too heavy to be moving with him. And it does...
that would have been so sick.
Yeah, it does halt the momentum. Something that I did notice is that spine is actually hands and feet. So our athletes could be doing kicks on that. Is he going to go for a lache to it? Yes, he is, and he almost had it. Oh, man, Thiago Lima had a great idea, wanted to catch the hooks, and as it came back, he wanted to backswing, but just peeled off there. I love the creativity. I love the extra thinking there. You could see he just maybe hit the bar with his chest a little too much, and that threw off his hand placement. But that could have been the fastest time. That would have saved him a lot of backswings on that last obstacle.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, hats off to Thiago. I think we're going to be seeing a great deal of him. He's giving me Jackson Erdos vibes, where we're going to see him on the challenge course and absolutely blitz it, hopefully. He's a young man with so much potential there. I think we got to see parts of his capabilities on demonstration there, so that's going to be very exciting to see as we take a look at the rest of the runs that we've got coming up here. 7 competitors across the other 3 divisions. Of course, we've got Tristan Ramsey and Ryan Cooper left in the amateur males. Ryan Cooper going to be stepping up very soon, but first we have a very capable young man, Tristan Ramsey.
All right, Tristan Ramsey now. Taking a calm approach here, working his way across, but at the same time not stopping his momentum. And I think that's super important. As long as you're still moving on courses like these, you're not wasting any time. And he definitely has time coming into the tilting spine right now. It's going to come down to Roach Replica, that final obstacle. Similar movements to the Beatles we saw at the World Championships, where athletes are going to have to reach for one side, give it a nice backswing, and hopefully have enough power to build up from scratch so that way they're not at a dead hang. We'll see how Tristan takes it on. There's the reach. He's going to kick forward and pull back.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful technique there. And he could be good to go right now. And that is going to be our fastest time with a sub 50-second run. Tristan Ramsey takes the top spot on the leaderboard.
Yeah, Tristan saving so much time there on that final obstacle of Roach Replica, using his wingspan to his advantage. Other competitors tried that, but they couldn't pull it off. Tristan going to be thrusting himself into first place. We do get to see that sub 50-second time, which is what we love to see. And Tristan's going to be running very late in the competition for sure, with only one competitor standing in his way for that top spot at the moment, and it's going to be Ryan Cooper.
Ryan Cooper, one of the favorites coming into today's competition, placed second at the World Championships just 2 months ago. So we know that he has the capabilities of going deep into courses and performing very well under pressure. And he's showing it right now. Oh, no! An early slip. He wanted to pop through that twist and fly over to the bar, and he just fell short of it. Take a look there. He got one hand on it, and the other hand just bailed. And I don't think that was on purpose. I don't even think that was something he was aware that he was doing. Just instincts might have failed him there. But it was great technique, and now we're going to be seeing Ryan Cooper running the challenge course first for the amateur male division. But there is your final leaderboard, with Tristan Ramsey taking the top spot. So take a look at this leaderboard. Flip it upside down. That will be your run order for the challenge course, with our last 3 runners being Louis Moore, Brendan Ramsey, and Tristan Ramsey, all rounding out the amateur male division. We'll be kicking it over to the amateur female division up next with Layla Helmer and Kristen Brickner. Same obstacles here. Time limit, and I believe, is going to remain at 1:15, and I think it's very doable for these women here. They're absolute powerhouses, and I'm very excited to see how they perform here.
I am very excited. And just one more note on that amateur male division, we're going to be seeing them all back very soon for that challenge course. And I think that's going to be one of the most interesting divisions we've seen. We've seen a few of the really favorites in that division come out very early. So they're going to be running early on, which means it's going to be anyone's game at that point. And we're going to be seeing Tristan Ramsey holding on at the top spot at the moment. So we'll see if he holds on. As we look at who we have left, we can see our elite males also in the lineup there. And it's going to be very exciting.
Now, as a reminder, our athletes will be running the placement course in these two divisions for, a spot on the run order in the challenge course to see where they land. But on the challenge course, they will have to beat the first 3 obstacles in order to qualify for finals instead of beating each other. And we're going to kick off the amateur female division with Layla Helmer, the South Central Regional Champion, which means here in Texas, she became the big boss to beat in her division. She's showing why. Great movement here. Going to take an extra swing here, potentially one more. Definitely has the power to go now. And she had the link. She's going to play it safe here. Caught the bar by her fingertips, but she's all right, and she's moving on through. 45 seconds remaining coming into the tilting spine. Great pull power being demonstrated from Layla Helmer right now.
That is absolutely right. Layla now needing to find the reach here. That is quite a far distance if your wingspan isn't long enough. And you can see her really fighting there. Part of the obstacle actually coming off there. Hopefully that doesn't rattle her too much. As Layla struggling to find the wingspan here. She might have to lâcher it, which I think is what she's going to be going for. And Layla just coming unstuck there. You can see the disappointment on her face as she knew that she could go so much further in this placement course. And that's going to leave it wide open for Kristen to come through and potentially take that top spot here in the placement course.
Yeah, Layla had such good technique on that first half. And I love the idea of, I love the problem solving of trying to lâcher to that end of the tilting spine. The downside is that as you let go, the spine will start to reset itself and lift back up. And she just didn't pop her hands high enough on a moving target. And had she done that, I think we would have seen her work her way to the final obstacle, probably to a buzzer as well.
That's exactly right. As we move through to Kristen Brickner, the gate wide open for her to take out this top spot here. If she can get through the tilting spine, came third in the season 9 standings, competed in a total of 6 competitions this year, and came 41st at the 2024 World Championships. So bringing a great deal of stats and resume to this competition. Let's see if Kristen can secure that top spot here on the placement course, but she's got a few obstacles to go to do that.
All right, quickly through that spinning log, jumping right into Greg's obstacle. Gonna have to set herself up. Looks like she could have the power. Now, will she link this dismount? Looks like it. Great dismount there. Perfect landing. 50 seconds remaining. This does put her ahead of Layla on time, if I'm not mistaken. And look at the lock-offs being demonstrated here.
Yeah, this is fantastic to see here as Kristen now looks for the next move. This is where Layla came unstuck just moments ago. And she's going to be switching up her approach. And she's got the wingspan.
All right, and we'll be seeing her on obstacle number 6 now. Going to have to grab the red part of that disc on the backside and then using that match and go technique to lâcher to the slider. She catches the bar, but just comes off. Maybe got her palms on with contact, but not enough grip there. But still a great run from Kristen. We'll be seeing her run second on the challenge course in her division. There was that link dismount as well. Very efficient. And the challenge courses always demand efficiency. I have a feeling Kristen's going to thrive on that challenge course.
Yeah, Kristen can be very happy with what she's been able to achieve there a great run all round, and again demonstrating that this placement course is definitely going to be a difficult one. And if you think that this course is difficult, the time pressure is hard, wait until you get to our challenge course. It literally says it in the name. It's going to be a huge challenge here. But some exciting news. We have a late registration for the elite males. So now we have 4 competitors in this division. Again, the requirements will be that they have to complete the first 3 obstacles of the challenge course. But there is also a great deal of pride on the line for winning a Premier Series qualifier, just due to the nature in how difficult it is to qualify in the first place. Weston Boswell going to be stepping up to the plate first as our late registration here, but we love to see that in the competition. And this is going to be a fierce elite division. A lot of big names there, a lot of well-known names in the ninja community.
4 is also a very awkward number to have per division sometimes. Obviously, all of these athletes know that they have the opportunity to qualify for the finals, but at the same time, one of these gentlemen will not be on the podium. And while Ninja and these athletes specifically are incredibly sportsmanlike, you got to think that they don't want to be that one guy just outside that top 3. So I'm excited to see just how much they bring it to the course. We're going to see Weston up first, and there he is at the starting line. Weston performs very well at every competition he's been to. Very excited to see how he handles this placement course. We're going to be seeing Weston followed by another later registration, Flip Rodriguez, but Weston now sprinting through that first obstacle like another. Wow, in a big rush, was going a little crooked on the limbs, but he's chilling. Huge airtime, didn't have the speed he wanted, and he underbars that dismount to run right around, coming in to the tilting spine now. Yeah, didn't have enough speed that he wanted to link everything, but he's making up for it now with some big skips, big reaches, nice pop technique, grabbing that slider, coming on down, goes straight to the bowl. Might be required for our elites, but I'm not sure. And there's the backswing set that we needed. Is he going to dismount early? Yes, he will. The fastest time we've seen on this course so far, 38.5 seconds. Weston Boswell proving why he is elite.
Yeah, the elites have 1:15 on the clock, as did our amateur division, but there's a reason that these individuals are in the elite division. It's because they're the best of the best of the best. And with Weston throwing down such an incredible time there of sub 40, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of our ninjas fare up. But I'll tell you what, this is an exciting competitor coming up.
Oh yeah, Flip Rodriguez started his ninja career as a speed demon, and over time gained so much knowledge of the sport that he's been able to become a speed guru, if you will, able to really maneuver properly without any little slip-ups that he may have had early on in his career. And you can see that now, beautiful links through that first half. He wants to jump straight for it, and he's gonna power his way over to the rope. Oh my goodness. He asked, I think he was checking if that was allowed or if he should do it. And had he pulled that off, that would have been so cool.
You love to see it. I think Flip was like, you know what, I'm just going to send it. There's 4 competitors in this division. I'm confident. I back myself to get first of the challenge course. And he's like, you know what, why not? Why not just send it? And we love to see that from him. I think it's just in his nature to try and innovate and beta break all these obstacles.
I was thinking about that skip, and I that's kind of how I expected most attempts to go. Flip, I think, just needed to go a tad higher, and he would have had it. But now, Leo Riveron, a very notable competitor for those who have tuned in to regionals and worlds. You know that Leo can tear up courses. Coming out of Chicago, was placed 3rd in the regular season standings, and for good reason. You can see him just starting to warm up a little bit. He's moving now with a lot more pace than before. Going to take an extra backswing here for Lashang his way over to the dismount. Amazing job there. Coming into tilting spine. We've seen some athletes skip that hill, but he's going to use a hand-over-hand technique here.
I think having seen Flip make that mistake early on, Leo is taking a very safe approach and making sure that he hits every single grab. And he is moving through well. Looks like he's going to get a completion here.
Go for that bowl. Yes, he will. All right, now for that big reach. It's a little awkward. And he's going to try and set his hips back. Oh, but he's a little stuck in the water right now, just kind of swiveling. But now he's redirecting, building up that power. Should be good to go here. And he does. Gets that dismount with 10 seconds to spare. A time of 1:04. Leo Riveron hits a buzzer on the placement course.
That is going to put him into second place in front of Flip Rodriguez. And Leo taking a very safe approach there on a bunch of those obstacles, but it's definitely going to pay off in the long run because it's going to leave him well placed for that challenge course, which is the most important. Weston Boswell, our front runner at the moment. And you can see Flip Rodriguez making it to the fourth obstacle within 9 seconds. So a very scary prospect there as we move on to our final elite male competitor.
Yes, this is Jonathan Bainge. You've probably seen him coaching many, many athletes on the sideline this weekend. He is one of Texas's most beloved coaches in the ninja community, and you can see the shirt he's wearing is an Austin Ninjas finalist shirt, which he earned by qualifying for the finals last season at the Premier Series.
It's great to see the caliber that Jonathan is bringing to this course. So much strength here and is demonstrating, and he's going to be contesting that top time if he can keep up this pace. Jonathan eyeing up, now moving through, just looking for this next grab. And this final part is going to be the deciding factor.
He's going to go straight for the hooks. He wants to go straight. Oh, he's going to switch around his technique here, likely because he found himself spinning. And now a little stuck dead in the water here. He's going to have to rebuild that swing and redirect himself, which he does. Good positioning of the hips there. Should be good to go in one. Awesome job. Jonathan Bainge ending off our placement course runs with a buzzer. 52 seconds on the clock. Amazing job.
Yeah, a great run there from Jonathan. Just a few inefficiencies there on that final obstacle, but all around he's demonstrating great strength and great promise. And I love how when he got stuck in limbo there, dead in the water, he had a big smile on his face because he knew how it feels to be on that very awkward obstacle. But Weston Boswell, I mean, Kane, he's looking like the favorite at the moment. Flip Rodriguez, of course, you cannot deny the 9-second time limit, the 9 seconds to get to the fourth obstacle. That is crazy impressive.
To get to the fifth obstacle, technically. It's 4 obstacles in 9 seconds, which is
true,
absolutely nuts. And I'm very confident that had he not gone for that skip, we would have seen all 4 of our athletes here finish. But regardless, for our elite division, Flip will be running first. Weston will be rounding us out, which means Weston will have the final run on this stream. Shortly before him will be Jonathan Bainge and Leo Riveron. But we will be back in just a bit. We're going to take it back to the amateur male division for the challenge course. The challenge course is set up. We do have our obstacles pretty much ready to go. I think they're just moving around some mats to make sure that our landing platforms are positioned properly. Taking a look here at our amateur female, we have our top 2, Kristen Brickner, taking the win on the placement course over Layla Helmer. See if we can get a look at their runs again. Just a couple of inefficiencies here and a couple of small mistakes here from Layla. Was trying to reach out, couldn't quite get it, went for a lache. Gotta respect the hustle and the risk taking that our athletes are utilizing here. They know that not only are the courses here dialed up to an 11 out of 10, but the athletes are going to push them to go even faster and even harder than they ever have before. Kristen and Layla can't wait to see who comes out on top on the challenge course. And then, of course, we have our amateur male top 3. Taking a look here, Tristan, Brennan, and Lulu. There's Lulu's run. Little stumble on that first obstacle, but he clearly moved through with great speed as he was able to hop into that top 3.
That's absolutely right. The 2 brothers, Tristan Ramsey and Brennan Ramsey, they're both going to be pretty happy to be in those top 2 spots. The Ramseys are dominating in the amateur male division. We can see them take to the course here. Just all round spotless runs in general. Great efficiency, really not wasting any time there. Brennan, of course, going to be in second. And then Tristan, our front runner at the moment, who set the most dominant time by a significant amount. I believe he was 4 seconds in front of Brennan's time. So Tristan going to be the one to watch here in this competition. Of course, we had some early exits from some favorites in that amateur division as well. So do not lose hope. The competition is not yet decided. It's all going to come down to the challenge course. And Kane, we're going to have that start up in a roughly 10 minutes.
That's right.
So we will
Taking
see you
one more
all back here
look
very soon.
At our
yes.
elite runners.
The
There
infamous
was
Flip
that
Rodriguez.
skip. The flip skip.
And unfortunately just coming unstuck there with Flip's run. But I think if you're Weston Boswell, you're going to be a little bit worried. We're looking at Leo Riveron again, taking a very smooth approach, showing us how strong he is as a competitor, and just had a few inefficiencies that maybe caused him to not quite have the times that we saw of Jonathan Bange and Weston Boswell, who really were the outstanding candidates here in this elite male division. Jonathan, you can see here so much strength, so much power behind every single one of his moves. And he moved through that course extremely well, but unfortunately just losing a little bit of time on that final obstacle, as so many of our competitors did. And then, of course, Weston Boswell setting the time and run of the day so far. By far the fastest competitor, 14 seconds ahead of anyone else. Similar to Flip, he took some risks here, made some skips, and it paid off for him in a very good way. And so it's going to be exciting. He was late registration, and he's coming through as our top competitor in this elite male division. So he's going to be feeling very good about his run.
Absolutely, and I cannot wait to see how these athletes across all three divisions absolutely tear up the challenge course. You guys are not going to want to miss it, so be sure to tune in. We'll be back in about 5 minutes or so for that challenge course. Welcome back, everyone, to the World Ninja League Premier Series qualifier at Austin Ninjas here in Texas. We are just about to kick off our challenge course for the amateur male, amateur female, and elite divisions. We have 7 obstacles on this challenge course. You can see them on the right-hand side of your screen. The quint steps, the roller rink, the X, spin to win, good boy, Mega Charizard, not that Mega Charizard, the other Mega Charizard, and Cat Attack as our final obstacle. Now, it's going to be a pretty intense course in terms of different techniques being utilized. Cat Attack is the final obstacle. You're going to have to climb up an I-beam and then tack off of that wall to a UFO. And that's going to be a pretty tricky grab to hit evenly as you're flying in midair. So I'm very excited to see when our athletes face that. But first off, Jack, I'm going to pass it over to you. What is a challenge course?
Thank you so much, Kane. And this is really where we start to get into the business end of the equation. The placement course was considerably low stakes compared to the challenge course, because in the challenge course, this is really where we're going to be whittling ourselves down to 4. So in the challenge course, the competitors will have a total of 2 retries, with a maximum of 1 retry being allowed to use on a single obstacle. And if the competitors run out of retries, their run will be over, and that will decide their final place in this qualifier here. And Kane, from the 11 competitors we have in the amateur male division, we're going to be looking for our top 4. And for divisions where we don't have more than 4 competitors, we will be requiring them to also complete the first 3 obstacles in order to qualify for the competition later this year in Washington. So it's going to be a very exciting competition, going to be super competitive here, particularly in this amateur male division. We've got Ryan Cooper running first. He came out early on the placement course, but make no mistake, this young man is going to be one to watch here as he is hopefully going to blitz through this challenge course.
Yeah, Ryan Cooper placed 2nd at the World Championships in June. So we know he has the capabilities to go far on the course, and we're seeing that right now as he's already on the 3rd obstacle, the X, not wasting any time. Just had an unfortunate slip up on the placement course, but definitely hasn't let that affect him. Wow, tearing through the first propeller and that disc, finding himself a little spun around on this second propeller, has to redirect, straightens himself out enough to where he could gauge that bar that he's supposed to go out to. Great use of the insides of the propeller there. Gave himself less room to spin, a little more control over everything. And now he's quickly on to this double TikTok move called Good Boy.
Ryan knows what's on the line here. He wants that top 4 position. We know he's capable. He did lose a fair bit of time there. Now just trying to build up the momentum on this second TikToker. And this bar here is going to drop once he grabs onto it. He gets it.
And he should have the power to go here, which he does. Now I'm very excited about this balance portion here. Gonna have to turn on these slack lines. Able to use that blue end for stability. Then he's gonna grab those canes that's on his right, take them off, and go through the balance tank while using the canes to turn directions for himself. Now you are allowed to go over these blue mats, but obviously having a bit of a hill on a tricky balance obstacle like this can definitely be detrimental to your run. So he's going to play it safe here and stilt walk his way across this maze.
Yes, this is a very new type of obstacle that we're seeing in the Ninja format, and this is some of the most amount of balance we've seen on a challenge course, probably in the history of the Premier Series. Ryan struggled to move through this with a good pace, but he is going slow and controlled, which is what we like to see. And with 33 seconds on the clock and one more obstacle to go after this one, it's going to be a close call, Kane, as to whether or not he's going to be able to finish. Let's see.
Well, he is
21
definitely
seconds
moving
on
with
the clock.
urgency here. Got to catch that UFO. Oh, and just catches it unevenly. His left hand a little too far in front. The timer has not been frozen for him. It's meant to be frozen as an obstacle is being reset.
Yes.
They might have to put those seconds back on the clock. They might have to give him a rerun. You can see a bit of yep, it looks like we're going to be stopping his run short. And I believe he will get a rerun. You can see the little fist pump celebration. And I can understand why. You know, he had a good run. He had a very good run, but got a little stuck on that fourth obstacle with the propeller there. So perhaps he's excited for a chance to better his time to the end at this point.
Yeah, and it will allow him to run later in the competition as well. Now that he's had that rerun, it's pretty huge, Kane, because I think we both know he's an exceptional athlete, and in this amateur male division is definitely one of the strongest competitors, but he had a few inefficiencies there that caused him to lose very valuable time. So Ryan, with that fist bump, is going to be pretty happy that he'll get another crack at this course and get to see a few of the competitors run through it as well and learn some insights.
Phone, Jack.
Oh,
because he's chalking up right now before the final obstacle. They might have just re-added his time to that point. And they might just be letting the run play out from here. Now, he had about 20 seconds as he fell, so he should have about 20 seconds on this retry of obstacle number 7.
Well, we go back down to a nail biter here. He's got the right amount of time to finish, but it's going to be very close here as we work to adjust our NinjaWorks timers, get everything set up. And I think this is a fair call. I think that he's now had some rest. He knows what the obstacle's like. That time pressure is going to be on his mind as Ryan gears up.
It is worth noting that it is up to the athletes to decide if they want a rerun or not, or when they want certain things. So this decision obviously been approved by Ryan himself. He's staying warm. He's staying loose. You can see him still shaking out his arms and legs, trying not to get cold. And it looks like they're going to call him down. He will be getting a rerun later on to accommodate for that timer. But we'll be seeing Ryan a little later.
Yeah, strategically, I think that's the right move, Kane. And I think we'll see him thrive on that course. Once he's had some time to rest and recover, hopefully that doesn't have too much of a negative impact on his body there, having to go through that entire course. Once again, we've been informed by our team that he's going to be rerunning after a couple of these runners. So we'll see if that's going to be enough rest for him as we move through. Once again, we kind of now going to be with Wade Weber up first.
All right, taking him back to Wade in just a bit. And there are those obstacle names once again. That cat attack, you could see that was the only one that really, caused a fall from Ryan's first run. You have to be so precise as you catch that UFO off of the wall. And if you don't, it could definitely lead to some interesting peels. But also, you don't want to lose those retries on the last obstacle, being so close to the end there. Another obstacle to take a look at is obstacle number 4, spin to win. That's our propeller and disc obstacle. Ryan popped through the first 2 moves with ease. The tricky part is you can see the gaps on your screen actually just behind this run order. You can see them kind of grow in size, which means you need more power and momentum generated in midair in order to link through everything as quickly as you can. And we'll see if Wade Weber can pull that off as he is about to take to the challenge course.
Yeah, Wade now getting to have seen what Ryan just experienced, hopefully learnt a few things there and a few places to be more efficient. Wade, another phenomenal competitor in this amateur male division, coming out a little bit early on the placement course, but do not let that discourage you. Wade is a seriously strong competitor here. Now, it's the second propeller, a difficult point for these athletes as he lines up for a smooth grab onto that propeller. This spins on a washer that moves from the slightest of points of momentum, so you have to be very controlled. And Wade's going to find that momentum as he gets that dismount there, saving a lot of time coming into Obstacle 5 now. This is a great run here.
Yeah, I love, again, the idea of utilizing the inside of the propellers where it's less likely to spin. He was able to stabilize himself and get out of there quickly. And now he's going to have to generate some swing on the TikToks if he's going to keep this pace up. We saw that the next obstacle came... Oh, no, a fall there. A fall on the transfer between the TikToks. It's a big jump. It's a very wide TikTok as well, which means you need a deep squat to build up more power. And Wade wasn't giving us the biggest movement there.
Yeah, he's learned from his mistake, though. He's going to build up more momentum this time, and hopefully we're going to see him get this dismount. It is a very awkward set of TikTokers. He was about to go, but he's going to build it up more. Really make sure of it.
And he's coming at it from the side, and that's going to do it. Yeah, I don't know if coming at it from the side is the right idea, because while you are only having to turn yourself 90 degrees in the air, that does mean that one of your shoulders will kind of be blocking in a way, which you can see here. One arm got in the way, and the other had to wrap a little more. Still a great job from Wade Weber. We'll see how this holds up with 10 more runners in the amateur male division.
And we can see those adjusted standings there. Ryan Cooper is going to be running in 4 athletes' times. So going to be interesting to see how he goes on his second attempt. This challenge course definitely proving to be challenging for our athletes, not only for the difficulty of the obstacles, but also the time limit. But I'll tell you, someone who did not struggle with speed on the placement course, it was Thiago Lima, just unfortunately coming out a little bit early on the placement course, going for a lâcher that unfortunately left him unstuck here. But Thiago, we saw, moved with great pace, Kane, so he's going to be a promising athlete here on this challenge course.
Yes, now we'll see what's his approach going to be. He's going to take the spin around tech, and he's going to try and pop, but he doesn't have the momentum, so he's going to use the inside once again like the athletes before him and link out of there. Very smooth pace to this point. He's going to want to get to obstacle number 6 faster than most, as that is our most time-consuming obstacle on the course. We saw the balance be a little tedious in the sense that you have to maneuver through that maze. So Thiago doing a great job at making momentum of his own. Gives him a lot of speed here. Goes for the dismount, one shot, and he has a minute 45 on this balance portion here.
Thiago taking a moment to recenter himself. It's really important on that balance when you're just running. If you don't take that time to recenter, your balance can be all off on these next 2 obstacles, as he now reaches a safety point, grabs out for the canes, and is now going to be moving through on this rolling log and beginning this interesting obstacle here. It's such a time consumer as well. You just watch this clock whittle down here. Thiago with a minute 10 now. He's moving quicker than we saw Ryan move earlier, but now getting a little bit stuck here, Kane, with this pivot.
Yeah, I like his pivot idea of putting one of his feet on the backside of the barrel and just shifting it slightly, but it does lead to some shaky balance. You could see him wobbling a little extra, relying on the canes extra. Something else I was thinking of is, what if you tried to do like a pole vault motion with the canes toward this back end here to get to the dismount? It's not necessary, but it's an idea. And Thiago now has 35 seconds on the final obstacle, cat attack. Now we saw Ryan not catch this UFO evenly. We'll see if Thiago can figure this out on the first attempt or if he'll need a retry. He gets up nice and high. Wants to make sure he can gauge properly. And he catches it. We could be looking at our first clear here. Thiago Lima with a buzzer on the challenge course. 2:20 as his time to the buzzer. Amazing job. Our first finisher of the day on the challenge course.
Yeah, Tiago could be super happy with that run there. Not too much to say in regards to inefficiencies. Tiago all round just demonstrating why he is an exceptional athlete and why he deserves to be in that top 4. And I'll tell you what, Kane, with a time of 2 minutes, 20 seconds, that is going to be tough to beat. He's setting a great standard. The remaining 9 athletes, Tiago definitely going to be one to watch, and it will be interesting to see if that top time holds. Really, yeah, you can't fault that run, and I would argue that one of the biggest time saves is going to be on that rolling log with those canes. I think if people, one, are familiar with it, it's definitely not an obstacle that a lot of ninjas spend their time training. So if we get someone who's really quick on it, they're going to be saving so much time over the competition, and that could be part of the deciding factor for who takes out that top spot. And I hope someone does do your pole vaulting strategy that you thought of, but the canes are very awkward themselves, so we will have to wait and see how it goes.
Yes, and we'll see if Josh Van Zeelen can crack the code on this course as well. He just saw someone finish, so he knows how to approach these obstacles, but of course, every athlete has their own flair, has their own identity on the course. We're going to see Josh's all over the challenge course as he starts very shortly. Gives the thumbs up. He's ready to go.
He looks geared, focused, and locked in. Josh beginning the start of the speed course. Already 2 obstacles in, making great time so far, keeping on pace with the top competitors here. Josh now taking a second swing to adjust.
He wanted to pop out, but only got one hand off of that propeller there.
But it looks like he's going to be straight away. No hesitation. Oh, they're going to make him wait because he started before the time limit. The gun.
And that's going to end his run. I like the idea. He wanted to grab one end of that third propeller, pop to the second, and underbar to the bar, but just whiffed with his hands there. It would have been a very fast technique. You can see it here. Nice underbar, but it just moved on him a little too much and threw off his positioning.
Yeah, Josh Van Zeelen, we've got to praise the innovations there. We've got to praise him for taking that risk. And unfortunately, it was just that little mistake on the first retry that probably caused him to lose a bit of his momentum and confidence on that obstacle. But Josh is going to be one to watch in the years to come. Make no mistake. I think exceptional potential here today. And we're going to be seeing Luke Van Zeelen running up next. His brother, of course, which is going to be exciting to see. Luke was also extremely quick on the placement course. And so seeing how he applies that into this course is going to be great to see. And hopefully we're going to see him go deeper into this course than we just saw with Josh. Great pace so far.
Luke is definitely a very fast athlete, and I'm not surprised that he got a buzzer on the placement course. Question now is, how is he going to approach this challenge course? Is he going to do the same thing that his brother tried to do? He catches it. It swiveled on him, but he caught it, and he's out of there. It's only been 20 seconds or so, and he's already on obstacle number 5.
Luke is moving with great pace here, and he's going to be able to contest Tiago's top time at this point if he can keep up this momentum. Now looking for that transition, which is quite a far dismount here, but Luke going so well and going to be using his wingspan to his advantage here to reach out to this bar. He's really making sure of every single backswing because he's seen other competitors make little mistakes when they go too fast or don't take those conservative approaches. Luke now taking the moment to recenter as he begins on this balance beam.
Wow, he didn't even use the blue support of the slackline there. He just leaped on over from one end to the other. He's kicking the barrel out to already position himself. That's going to save him a good amount of time. He's rubbing against that corner, but he's all good now. And he might have just saved himself an extra 5 seconds or so.
Yeah, this is what I was saying before, is if you see competitors who are really quick on this rolling log, like Luke is, I thought he was going to line up the pole vault there. And it looks like he is going to.
Does, yeah. a little bit of a tricep move there, drum hopper style. All right, now for this match on the cat attack, which he grabs onto. He's got great time to this point, Jack, and Luke Van Zeelen gonna shatter the challenge course with a time of 1:51 to the buzzer.
Luke Zeeland, everyone, he is going to be one to watch and going to be holding on to that top spot ahead 30 seconds roughly of Tiago's time. So it goes to show just how quick he was on those last two obstacles in particular. It's worth noting he came in with a very similar time in those last two obstacles to Tiago, but because of how quickly he moved through those rolling logs and completed that final obstacle, he's managed to thrust himself into first place. But if there's someone who's going to be contesting that first place, it's going to be Grant Kinningham. A late registration here today, but make no mistake, he's going to be one to watch. He was first up on our placement course and cleared the course with ease. So hopefully now
Oh my goodness. A stumble very early on, tried to skip that first pipe. Thankfully, it's early on in the course. He's going to play it safe on the second attempt, but that retry gone could definitely be costly in the future.
Yeah, the only thing it's probably going to affect is his confidence on the rest of this course. Just having those little slip-ups can definitely have a chain effect, but it doesn't seem to be impacting him too much anymore. Looks like he's going to go for the pop. Wow. Grant is flying through this course, doing an exceptional job all around here. Now just trying to build up that momentum.
Grant is such a powerful athlete and also just such a positive influence in the community. Can't say anything negative about this guy because there's nothing negative to say. He's just incredibly strong, incredibly sportsmanlike, and definitely is capable of being our winner here today in the amateur male division. Haven't ever really seen him struggle on a balance obstacle, and we're seeing that again. Now, he might take a page out of Luke's book, kick it forward. No, he's going to slightly inch it, slightly position it, but away he goes. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by this. Wow, lots of big, quick moves here before slower pivots.
Yeah, I think he saw how quick Luke was on this obstacle, and so Grant is trying to follow it up with a similar pace. And he's going to be getting to this final obstacle at a very similar time point to Luke. So this is going to be a close finish here, Kane, for the top spot if Grant can get through this final obstacle. But this grab, it's a long distance, it's a tricky and big UFO. What are we witnessing? Okay, he thought about it.
He's switching back to more traditional tech, and he's going to get out of there. He might have cost himself the fastest time there, but with 1:53, Grant Kinningham's going to land himself in second place with a challenge course clear.
Yeah, Grant can be super happy with that run, and he did a bit of a beta break there on those spinning helicopter blades, so hopefully other people might consider applying that. But I think the general rule of thumb that we're learning here, Kane, is on that rolling log, you've got to go quick. It's going to be messy, it might be a little bit risky, but if you're not going quick on it, then you're not going to be able to contest those top four spots, it seems. As we move on to a familiar face, it's not deja vu, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ryan Cooper. I saw him step up first on this challenge course and now has secured himself a rerun. Having learnt a little bit about what his competitors have done, Ryan is going to be tackling this course for a second time here. Block is reset. Ryan feeling very familiar and very comfortable on a bunch of these obstacles. Yeah, great move so far.
The other thing you have to think, now that he's seen 5 athletes take on this course since his run, he now knows what's at stake. It's very likely our top 4 is going to be filled with finishers on the challenge course. He knows he's going to have to get to the buzzer if he wants any shot at qualifying for finals, and you can see that urgency as opposed to when he was running first, where he was moving as quickly as he could, but still trying to get comfortable while setting the bar high.
Yeah, Brian now struggling to get enough momentum. This is going to be winding down his clock a little bit, but he manages to find it, and now taking that backswing, really making sure of this dismount here. He knows he's going to have to go. That top 4 is going to be so highly contested here, but wow, is Ryan moving with pace here on this obstacle. As he now comes into the rolling wheel, let's see what he's got.
He's trying to move as quickly as he can, using both feet, planting them, and then changing the direction of the log. Doing a great job so far. Moving the canes as well, almost in sync. This is such a time-consuming obstacle, but he's going to get out of there with about a minute left on the clock. Quick vault up to the dismount platform. Now, we did see him fall on this obstacle last time. It was the only obstacle that got him, but not this time. Now he's going to straighten himself out and dismount, and I believe that's the fastest time, 1:42 for Ryan Cooper. No surprises there.
Very solid time there.
He got second at the World Championships, could be looking at first at this Premier Series qualifier. Ryan Cooper may very well have punched his ticket to finals with that run.
Yeah, it definitely is a finals-worthy run there. Ryan, it demonstrates the benefit of just being able to see a few ninjas come through. But we still have 5 more competitors to go, with Thiago Lima, our original first finisher of this course. Is going to be on the bubble at the moment for that top 4. That is the brutal nature of the Premier Series finals, as Luke Van sits in second, Grant in third, and Ryan, of course, in first at the moment. So it's going to be interesting, Kane, with five competitors left to go, and 5 of the best, considering they had the fastest times on the placement course. It's going to be exciting to see as we move into AJ Scheffler.
That's right. The time limit for this course is 2:35, but as you said, with course clears being required now to land in that top 4, the time limit is essentially Thiago's 2:20, and AJ definitely moving like he's looking to beat that time. Good moves over so far. Got the wingspan to pop over. Now, is he going to pop to the bar? Yes. Good reach there.
AJ really playing to his strength.
Already on obstacle number 5. Good boy is the name of the obstacle, as he's going to work his way on to TikTok number 1. Not really rushing to build much momentum, but now with some deep squats to really generate some power there. He catches the second one. Almost looked like he came off, but he's in the clear. Now has to rebuild for that second TikTok before reaching for that trapeze. He does have the wingspan to reach, and he gets it without needing to take extra swings. And he's going to get out of there with 1:40 left.
Yeah, moving at a similar pace that we've seen from a lot of other competitors, wobbling a little bit, however, but now finding his feet. He knows that he can't take a moment to stop here. He's going to have about 30 seconds to make it through this obstacle to be on a similar pace to the other competitors here. 50 seconds is usually the time spot that we're looking for these competitors to make it to that final obstacle with. AJ moving comfortably through this. He's smooth, he's calm, and he's collected, but also moving through it very quickly, which is what we love to see here.
Well, he still has a minute left. He'll be coming into the final obstacle with likely 55 seconds on the clock, putting him in a great position to land in that top 4, but he's going to have to beat Cat Attack if he wants any shot. Here we go.
It's going to be close here.
He peels off. Oh, no.
No.
Time's frozen. He's got 45 seconds left. He's going to have to nail this right away if he wants to land in the top 4.
Yeah, AJ lining up for his second attempt. He got a feel for that UFO there. It's so awkward. He's got to go.
No.
And he knows it. No.
Oh, my goodness. And AJ Schelper, right at the end of the challenge course, is going to peel off the UFO twice. And that's going to put him just outside of that top 4. Unfortunate there.
AJ,
he was moving so well on these first obstacles.
He was one of the quickest to that 5th obstacle there, just moving so well through those first few obstacles. But unfortunately, that UFO is huge, and it's a very awkward grab. So as we saw with Ryan Cooper, and we saw with AJ now, you can definitely come unstuck. And with the pressure being so high here for that top 4, it is so difficult. Thiago going to be holding onto that top 4 spot, but Asa Solberg is going to be up next. He was super quick and also very strong. One of the calmest and collected competitors we've seen all day today. So It's going to be interesting to see how that applies here on this challenge course, and I think it's going to be in his favor.
It's also worth noting we are officially in our final 4 runners of the amateur male division, which means that from here on out, an athlete will be punching their ticket to finals. First place right now is Ryan Cooper, so he's first in line to qualify, but Asa could absolutely dethrone him if he can figure this obstacle out. Was a little hesitant there, but he's all good now. Looks like he wants to pop. Nope, he's going to grab the inside and try and twist himself around for that Lachey. Gets the bar and gets out of there.
Feet now.
Now, it has been a bit of time. He did lose some precious seconds there. He's really going to have to push it on this back half of the course and get everything without any retries used.
Yeah, the standard in this competition is just so high. Struggling to build up that momentum from the side of that TikToker. But he gets onto the second one now. He's carried forward some good momentum there, which is good. Asa going to hopefully be able to thrive on the back end of this course, coming in just behind some of the top 4 competitors here. So he's really going to have to push it on these last few obstacles here.
All right.
Showing great balance.
I was about to say, making the slack lines look super easy. Now he's going to grab those canes, which actually was the tricky part for him. You can see more wobble there than any other place. Now this is interesting. He's not using the actual hook parts of the canes. He's using the hooks on the floor. Wonder if that changes anything about the stability or if it's just how he happened to grab them.
Yeah, in the moment, in a competition, sometimes it can be deliberate, but it can sometimes, you know, when your instincts kick in and you're just so focused on the course, you can make decisions like that and not even realize that they're the other way around. But it seems to be playing to his advantage here. Asa moving very well here. 30 seconds on the clock. He's got time for the finish here as he lines up, begins the climb on this board. And now he's got the reach, that's for sure. Can he pull off this grab?
Oh, no! With that fall, I also do believe that he's going to be out of time for contention in the top 4. So even if he gets this, will not be qualifying for finals.
That is unfortunate, but we'd still love to see him through here. He's getting a nail biter. And he just... You can see how perfect you have to be with that disc. You have to grab it exactly in the middle, and any failure to grab directly in the middle will result in you missing and it just peeling out there. Asa, unfortunately, that's going to conclude his run. He will not be proceeding to the top 4. There are still other qualifiers he can definitely come to, but Thiago Lima still going to hold on to that top 4 spot, and Ryan Cooper is going to have secured his ticket. He's going to be punching his ticket to Washington so he can breathe a sigh of relief, as we have only 3 more competitors left: Louis Moore, Brennan Ramsey, and Tristan Ramsey.
Now, I'm very excited to see these last 3 runners because at this point, with the exception of Ryan Cooper, you know, this top 4 can change up on a dime. And it's going to come down, in my opinion, to how our athletes, again, are going to handle spin to win, that 4th obstacle, because it's proven to be a very time-consuming obstacle, but if you have the right approach, you can get through it in a matter of 5 seconds, and you could still be on great pace to crack into that top 4. And then, of course, cat attack, which by the looks of it, you know, we had a good clear streak where athletes had it down, and then now we're starting to see more athletes slip up on it and end their runs on that obstacle. So while they may not be the crux points in the traditional sense, in the way that they're, you know, eliminating athletes, they're definitely playing a factor into the time of our athletes' runs, and that can absolutely, with 4 clears in the top 4 right now, affect the clear times that our athletes could take. But here is Louis Moore, one of the top athletes in the adult division this past season. It's funny because I've had the chance to speak with him multiple times, and you can see there he says age 39. He's like, I'm old, man. And I'm like, dude, you do not move like you're old. Are you kidding me? Like, you're all good. Like, he's totally cruising. Look at him having a good time right now. He's just chilling at the start line. And now we're going to see him absolutely unleash the beast.
Yeah, Louis, not only a phenomenal coach, but also a great athlete here. moving through this course, almost having a bit of a slip up there, but recovering well. And it goes to show just he can be dancing at the start line, but then crushing it on this now. Just finding his momentum. We've seen this has been very common of a lot of athletes on this obstacle. He finds that momentum in the correct direction, and Louis going to be moving through with a great pace so far. These TikTokers can either make or break your run, and it looks like Louis got them down packed again.
Yeah, I mean, he just practices so many different types of unorthodox moves. So when it comes to moves like TikToks, which our athletes have been familiar with for some time, he makes it look so easy. And just like that, he's going to get out of there pretty on pace with our top two finishers right now. It's just going to come down to how quickly can he get through this balance portion, and can he also nail the cat attack on the first try?
Yes, he's doing a great job.
In the top 15 at the World Championships, and he's showing exactly why.
This is a really exciting run here. Louis is pushing the time. I mean, 1:10, and he's moving through this rolling log so quickly here. This is such a promising time. 1:05 left on the clock.
I love that he was just moving through the balance tank with his feet, not using the canes. He knew that that would be faster for him. He was comfortable enough to only use the canes to change direction. It's very calculated, and it's really paying off for him here. But he's got to get this jump and grab, which he does.
Oh, and he gets
Lulu is going to get the buzzer. Nice celebration there.
Happy.
151.5 puts him 0.4 seconds ahead of Luke Van Zeelen and into second place. Lulu Moore will be going to the Premier Series finals.
Wow, what a great run there from Louis. So calm and yet so strong at the same time. I have mixed emotions about this run. He was dancing at the start line, and then he just started crushing the course. And Louis very comfortably securing that second spot. And that's going to punch his ticket into Washington. So we have our second official athlete that will be coming from Austin. And that's it's really great to see as we move on to our second best placed athlete, Brennan Ramsey. He crushed the placement course, and I think he's going to be hoping to crush this challenge course now. He knows what's on the line. 2:20 for Tiago's time, and then roughly 1:55 is going to be the time to beat here if he wants to make it into that top three at the moment.
That's right. On the bubble right now is Grant Kenningham with a time of 1:53 to the buzzer. So that is the time for Brennan to beat. Also worth noting, Brennan Ramsey is not related to Tristan Ramsey, who will be running next. It just so happens that if your last name is Ramsey, you're just really good at ninja. Nice underbar dismount there from Brennan. He's going to kind of rub his hands together and make sure that his chalk is still good, and he's going to launch right into that TikTok. Great power there. He should be good to go on this next swing. Maybe one more. Looks like he's lining it up. Oh, hesitating a bit, and that's going to take away some seconds. These all-important seconds. Now, second, third, and fourth place are all within 2 seconds of each other on the leaderboard right now. Brennan is a couple seconds behind that pace right now, so he's really going to have to push through on this back half of the course.
Yes, 1:30 on the clock. The clock is what we're living and breathing through at the moment because it's the all-deciding factor here. We know Brennan has what it takes to finish this course. There's no doubt about that. But does he make the time limit of this top four, this coveted top four? And it's all going to come down to this rolling log and the final obstacle here. He's making good pace so far, but he's going to be hitting one of the barriers and going over it.
Wow, a little wobbly on that landing there. Is he going to do it again? No, he's going to try and turn himself. But also is deciding, I think his mindset here is if he can't pivot it enough, he's just going to go right over it and roll with the punches to save himself the seconds.
Yeah, and now getting that dismount, 45 seconds on the clock. He's going to have to go here, Kane. He's got the strength, he's got the technique, and he very quickly move through this obstacle here.
Oh, man.
Just misses.
Peels off, and I believe he's actually going to be outside of the fake time limit as well. Hopefully he gets his buzzer, but he will not be in the top four if he does. Now it's all about pride.
Brennan, and now
Great catch.
lining it up
No,
and just
steals off.
it is such a tough grab for everyone watching at home. The big UFO is deceptively tricky because it's on such a small focal point. If you tilt it either way ever so slightly, you will not be able to hold on to it there. But Brennan Ramsey, what a run. What a run. I think he can be super proud of how he conducted himself all throughout. And I guess that pressure, that time pressure that's been placed on these competitors here today is phenomenal. But that is the nature of the Premier Series, as Luke Van Zeeland can breathe a sigh of relief. He has punched his ticket into Washington. We will be seeing him later this year as we now move on to our top-seeded competitor for this qualifier, Tristan Ramsey. First in the Season 9 standings, and competed in a total of 14 competitions this year. So to say he's in his prime is an understatement. This young man is phenomenal. Tristan threw down such a great time in that placement course. And he's not just going to be looking for the top 4, Kane. He's going to be wanting to get that first place off of Ryan Cooper.
Oh, yeah, you already know. Tristan, we've seen him go fast. We've seen him be calculated in his technique in, like, quick situations. So I have a feeling that'll come together very well here. Now, the time to beat is Grant Kinningham's 153.48. And I'm saying the milliseconds because the milliseconds absolutely matter. Great pop there to the disc. Now, what's his approach going to be on this propeller? Is he going to try and boot scoot his way through? No, he's going to grab the inside. And he's going to try and turn himself to that bar, but he's turning a little more than I think he would prefer to. Losing a bit of time here. And is he going to 180? He 180s it. Awesome job. Way to work on the fly there from Tristan Ramsey. Now he's going to send himself into that TikTok. Doesn't have a whole lot of momentum. He's going to have to gather it up right now.
Yeah, Tristan losing some valuable time here on these TikTokers. They are such a nifty and difficult obstacle with so much precision in your movement, but he's starting to build up that momentum. Of course, losing valuable time. But he gets to that second TikToker with more momentum this time, which he can be happy about. And now just trying to build it up here, inch by inch, as he works to grab that bar. Kane, he's going to be behind the pack here, unfortunately. So he's going to have to do some big groundwork if he wants to secure himself into that top 4 here. So difficult.
That's right. He has about 30 seconds. He's about 30 seconds slower to this point than our front runners right now. So he's going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat on this balance obstacle. He's got to go for something big if he wants any shot at the top 4. A buzzer definitely still within reach, though.
Yes, there is no question in our minds that Tristan can get a buzzer here, but can he do it under the time pressure? With such demanding time pressure here. 35 seconds left on the clock here. It's going to be a close call. Tristan likely out of the bubble, unfortunately, for that top 4 spot, which means Grant can breathe a sigh of relief here, but Tristan still going to be looking for that finish. Prove to us why he is our top-seeded athlete here today.
Now he's pushing it for a clear. 15 seconds remaining. I want to see the amateur male division end with a clear, but he's got 10 seconds. He's only got one shot at this. He's got to go.
It's going to be...
Come on, Tristan. It's a nail-biter of a finish. He catches it. Backswing. 1 second.
No.
Come on.
Yes.
Hit it. He got it. Oh, my goodness. With 0.21 seconds left on the clock, Tristan Ramsey put us on the edge of our seats there, but ends with a clear. Awesome job.
Yeah, a great backspin pop there. Honestly, Tristan is such a great athlete. He played to his strengths on the challenge course. I mean, on the placement course, but unfortunately on that challenge course, just with the TikToker, he just lost a lot of time there. And that is going to conclude our top 4 with Grant Kinningham, Luke Van Zeeland, Louis Moore, and Ryan Cooper taking out those top 4 spots. So many phenomenal athletes in this amateur male division. And it's just due to the competitive nature of our Premier Series that we will only be taking those top 4 to Washington, which makes it all the more exciting. We're going to take a moment to take a quick look at our runs here. We can see Luke Van Zeeland placing 3rd there. He's going to be one to watch later this year. Such a quick athlete here, Kane.
Yeah, I just love how smooth this run was. He was making sure that he was taking some extra swings where he needed to without wasting time. And it's that knowledge, the difference between one extra backswing or two that can really separate, being on the podium and being just outside of a qualifying spot. Luke knows that line, and he was well within his limits while also pushing the pace. Amazing job. And then, of course, we take it over to Louis Moore. Absolutely flew through the course, just 0.4 seconds ahead of Luke. And it was all about the efficiency and technique here for Lulu. Just came at this like such a professional and was able to launch himself over to the buzzer at the very end when it counted. And then taking that top spot by almost 10 whole seconds is Ryan Cooper. Had to have a rerun due to the timer not really being set up for him on that last obstacle. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is he made all of these obstacles look incredibly easy. Was a little crooked here on that last obstacle, and his ability to redirect automatically and dismount saved him so much time, skyrocketing him into that top spot. And I'm very excited to see how he performs at the finals. Now, folks, we'll be right back after a short break. We have 6 more runners, 2 in the amateur female division and 4 in the elite male division. Cannot wait to see how they perform. We'll be right back after a short break with the challenge course runs for those athletes. And folks, when I say short break, I mean we're back and ready to go right now. Layla Helmer is at the starting line for the amateur female division. I got a sip of water. I'm ready. I'm chilling. Now,
that's all the break we need, Kane.
Exactly. For our amateur female and elite male divisions, since all of our athletes are automatically within the top 4, the benchmark is set. They're going to have to beat the first 3 obstacles in order to qualify for the finals. Let's see if Layla, who trains out of Rise at the warehouse, is able to punch her ticket to Washington.
Yeah, we'd really love to see all these athletes through the first 3 obstacles. That is the goal here, as Layla moves through the first 2, no troubles, and will have 2 attempts at this 3rd obstacle. There's a big lâcher here and an awkward grab, but she gets it. Can she find this dismount and book her ticket?
Yes,
she can.
Now that she has become a Premier Series finalist, of course, we want to see who's going to take the win between Layla and Kristen. Layla tried to take a swing over, but too many backswings will cause that propeller to spin. You're going to have to jump on that propeller and immediately fling yourself out to that disc. And I don't know if Layla is going to try it again. She will, but she's finding herself crooked. She's going to take a drop. Timer freezes.
Yeah.
Now we'll see if she's going to change her approach. Yes, it is. She's going to jump out again and another backswing, but this time closer to the inside, which meant less turning, but her run is going to end. So close there.
Yeah, Layla unfortunately coming unstuck. And it's a big pop there. Not only do you have to go a long horizontal distance, but you've also got to go up a little bit onto a very awkward disc grab, which means that Kristen Brickner has the win in the opening here if she can make it past obstacle 4. That still is a big caveat. It's a very difficult obstacle. First and foremost, we want to see her through the first 3 obstacles here. She had a great placement course run, and we're now going to see how she fares on this challenge course.
That's right. Beating the X is going to be so important here, as that is what will send her into the finals. But of course, her time to that point could also put her ahead of Layla and give her the win at this competition. And of course, beating obstacle number 4, spin to win, will definitely put her in that first place spot. We cannot wait to see which of these two ladies is going to come out on top today.
Kristen, currently third in the Season 9 standings for the amateur female division, so such a strong competitor. Came 41st at the World Championships this year and has such a strong resume, having competed in 6 total comps this year. So she's going to be lining up, knowing what is on the line here, trying to punch her ticket into Washington. That is what we're hoping to see here first and foremost.
All right, looks like Kristen is ready to go. Our course team, led by Nick Fordney at Austin Ninjas, giving her the go-ahead. And off to the races goes Kristen Brickner. Now we see 2 additional steps here on that second obstacle. Kristen uses those to get to the third obstacle, the X. This is going to be a pivotal moment in her run. She holds on tight, gonna take an extra swing here, and lands on, we'll see her. Oh my goodness, almost lost it, but she's good. And we'll be seeing her in the finals as well. I'm not sure if that was faster than Layla or not. I honestly think that it comes down to a matter of a second, which is absolutely insane.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see there.
Yep, but of course, if Kristen beats this obstacle, she'll for sure have first place. And it looks like she tried to go for that pop movement and now is going to try and spin out on the propeller. She reaches the disc.
Yes!
Now has to even herself out, which she is. Good shuffling of the hands there.
You can see the washer that it's on. It just spins and spins and spins. She's put this machine on spin cycle here, but she manages. She's starting to find her momentum. But for every second she's up there, it's causing her muscles to get more and more fatigued.
You can see
she's
her
now
really
starting to get... Oh, this is such a battle.
In with the core strength, trying to redirect with her hips as well. Such a tough fight out of Kristen. Even if she doesn't beat this obstacle, I don't want to see her drop. I want to see her gut this out for the next minute and 5 seconds.
Wow. This is so tough, though. You can just see how much that washer moves. The tiniest bit of momentum. Okay. Can she line it up here? You have to think about how fatigued she'd be to that point.
Just peeled off on the backswing. And with a time of 19.9 versus Layla's 21.1, Kristen Brickner will take the win in the amateur female division.
Kristen can be very happy with that, and we can be very happy with the fact that both of them are going to be flying to Washington later this year, which is just awesome. We're building up our top ninja divisions. Both of them have officially qualified. Such a close call there. And it goes to show just how difficult that obstacle number 4 is. It's going to be very exciting to see them compete later this year in the big leagues. As we take a look once again at our top 2 there, both phenomenal athletes. And we're going to be moving very quickly into our elite division as well, Kane, which is worth noting. This has been an interesting live stream format. It's very exciting. It means that we get to just see run after run of really phenomenal athletes here. We saw the amateur males make it through this course, and I feel like the bar is going to be very similar if they want to take out that top spot here in this elite male division. We've got Weston Boswell, Flip Rodriguez, Leo Riveron, and Jonathan Bange. This is a stacked elite male division.
That run order might be slightly off, as Weston was our top finisher. He should be running last, which means we should be getting Flip at our starting line very, very soon. Now, I'm curious as to how our elites are going to handle it. The elites, not only are they known for their physical strength above other divisions, but also their ingenuity on the obstacles. And you can see right there, Nick Forney showing our elite athletes. I believe they swapped the UFO out for a new hold on that last obstacle, cat attack. Might make it harder for our athletes to catch. Very excited to see that.
Yeah, it's happy days on that front. I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic, Kane, to see Flip Rodriguez going first. I mean, he has such a big reputation in this sport. He's such a strong athlete. And so putting him up first, well, we saw him in the placement course complete 4 obstacles in 9 seconds. it's going to put so much pressure on these other competitors in next year, and if he can throw down a great time and really go the distance, I think it's going to put so much pressure on these other athletes.
I agree, and honestly, I thought you were going to say 9 obstacles in 4 seconds, which I was going to say, hold up now, Flip's fast, but let's take a second here. Got a lot of support in the chat for so many of our athletes. Just want to shout them out. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's end this stream on a high with our 4 elite runners. I believe we are just about to be ready for them.
Yes, Flip, and I think
runner.
Being in the elite division, unless they've changed up the first 3 obstacles, which it looks like everything's going to stay the same, I think they will have no troubles in getting through those first 3 obstacles. And it's really going to be for that top spot, which is what's exciting. In the amateur males, we were perhaps pretty centered around who's going to be making the top 4. But in this context, we're going to be looking at who's going to be winning this Premier Series qualifier, which is equally as exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see. And there you have your adjusted run order. Flip on standby. Mega Charizard, the balance maze obstacle. I'm very curious to see if we're going to see a more traditional approach to it, the way we have with our amateur athletes, or if we're going to be seeing something a little quicker, maybe some shortcuts, some liberties being taken on, how to approach that and how to really speed through it. Because, let's be real, they're going to be able to breeze through a lot of these. They're such powerful athletes. Linking through a lot of these moves will not be difficult. Spin to win, obstacle number 4. Hopefully no one gets all spun around. But interesting here, we've got Weston at the starting line instead of Flip. Weston was our top finisher, and he might have just chosen to run first. Yes.
Yes, it seems that he will have to.
He had to leave a little early, so he's going to get his run before he has to go. 2:35 still the time limit, and Weston is off to the races. Good.
Yeah, Weston going to be making
front swing.
Yeah, we're really going to get to see here, Kane, why they are in the elite division. Wow. Oh, so strong there. If he can just keep this momentum in the right direction, he finds it. Is now moving with great pace through this course.
All right, now coming into obstacle number 5, called Good Boy. Gonna build up some big swing. Should be good to go here. All he needed was 1 extra swing on that TikTok before making that transfer. That's gonna save him a lot of time. And now he's gonna have to jump into that dropping trapeze bar. And, I thought he was gonna link that dismount, but he is out of there. And he's about 4 seconds faster than Ryan Cooper, who was our top amateur finisher.
Yeah, Weston doing a great job setting the standard here for the rest of the elite competitor field. Going over and now moving really quickly. Oh, having a little bit of trouble now, as I take back my words. Just struggling to get the pivot in. He can move very quickly in a straight direction.
Oh, he's stuck on the edge there, and he's going to come down. He got too much of that balance tank stuck against that corner. He's going to have to start back at the slack lines. With 1:16 on the clock, Weston Boswell going to give this another go. He's definitely qualified for finals already, so now he's just going for a buzzer for potentially the top spot and pride.
That is right, and hopefully he can learn from the mistakes he made here. Still important to note, he's still got a minute on the clock, which just goes to show how quickly he was moving through the first 5 obstacles in this course. Now being much more smooth and methodical with this rolling log, as he now looks for the dismount onto cat attack. Let's see. Oh, it has changed, Kane.
Oh, this spins. This spins,
really?
If I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's going to spin out on Weston there. He's going to freeze his timer at 31 seconds. And the problem is, this is not a single spinning bar. Those are 2 spinning handles. So catching it mixed grip does absolutely nothing. It doesn't cancel it out. You have to be equally strong with both your right and left hand in order to hold on tight.
Crazy.
Oh man, Weston just peels off, almost had it. So close.
What? That is
Yeah.
such
Oh
a
my
brutal
goodness.
final handle. To grab that with a swinging, to grab that from a static position is tough, but to grab it when you're jumping out to it, you've got this rotating momentum. The amount of forearm strength you're going to need to hold on to that spinning bar, and both handles spin independently. Oh, that is so tough. And Weston Boswell is not going to quite get the finish that we were expecting there. But I'll tell you what, Kane, I think if anyone can complete those handles, they will potentially secure themselves the win here as we now move into one of our... Yes.
I do think that this is going to be a big battle against Cat Attack, as you're saying. And I think if anyone can do it, Flip Rodriguez is very capable. For those who may follow Flip on Instagram, he's been doing a series where he's been, trying vertical limits as much as he can. And that can definitely help your grip on spinning bar obstacles like that hold. So we shall see. But he's got to get through this first half of the course first. He's already qualified for finals. In the time that we were doing his introduction, he qualified, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think we lose track of just how quickly he moves through this course. Flip finds the perfect balance between technique and speed, having been in the sport for such a long time. And that's exciting to hear about the vertical limits. It's such a common weakness of ninjas because it's so difficult and so uncomfortable to train. So to know he's deliberately training it is going to position himself really well for the Cat Attack at the end. And we'd love to see him through it, as he is clearly having the fastest time that we've seen all day to this point. 1:37 on the clock. Flip moving with great pace here. And we'll see how he goes on this rolling log.
All right, making good work here. He's not even really using his feet to shift. I mean, he is, but he's not kicking it or really stopping to pivot like other athletes have been. He seems to know how to maneuver. And I like that he's angling the cane as well. You can tell that the way he's angling the cane is aiding in his adjustments, which I think is, a little slip there, but he's safe. All right, and with a minute or so on the clock, Flip Rodriguez is going to be on the final obstacle. I do believe that puts him into first place right now by a good amount, and he almost catches it. Looked like he had a solid grip, and then it just spun on him a little much. Hopefully he can get it on his retry here.
I think he's realizing that chalk, just due to the nature of the obstacle, probably not going to help him too much on this grab, unfortunately. It is so slippery. Flip going to take a little bit more time to reset here. He's got the strength. Can he pull it off?
He's got it. No! Oh my goodness. It looked so confident. You could tell that he was over grabbing on those handles so that way he could, compensate for that rotation. But it just was a little too much. Flip moved with such high speed and efficiency. Even with his stumbles, he was able to recover right away. And here you can see, again, that over grab, but it just spun out on him a little too much. That is going to land him in first place, 18 seconds ahead of Weston. And we will be seeing both of those gentlemen in the finals. The question now is, can Flip hold on to that top spot, or will Leo Riveron take that from him?
It's going to be a question, Kane, of whether or not it's the fastest to the final obstacle, or if someone's going to end up completing it. Flip through a great time there for getting to the final obstacle super quick. But if Leo can finish this course, then he will put himself safely into that top spot.
Oh my goodness, a stumble by Leo. Wow, was not expecting that on the second obstacle.
Yeah,
he's going to be a little more cautious
one of his valuable
here now.
retries.
Hopefully he won't need a retry here on the X. Got the grab, perfectly solid, and he is going to finals with that clear.
Yeah, so he can breathe a sigh of relief there, and now he's just got to find the confidence he needs to get through the rest of this course, take it one obstacle, and he's got one more retry in the back pocket. He's lined up his momentum here. He's moving with a good enough pace, but these washers and these spinning blades are causing havoc for our competitors here today. Leo, finally, he's using his strength, tensing his muscles, and he finds the momentum in the right direction. Now just got to get that dismount. He's really lining it up.
And he's spinning again. Oh, man.
And every second that he's up there is burning more energy from his forearms, from his biceps. This is going to be hurting him as he is in limbo at the moment, and the clock is burning down here. Leo, can he line up the dismount? Still struggling. Oh, it's such a difficult obstacle, Kane.
Yeah, and he's going to continue to keep spinning. Really have to lock in the core and almost pull your arms in the opposite direction that you're trying to swing with your legs. That way you're building up momentum while resisting the propeller from spinning the way that you want it to. And he's going to drop and use that second retry. You have to think as well, his forearms are probably burning after hanging up there for such a long time.
Yeah, he was up there for roughly a minute at that point, so his forearms could be fried here. But hopefully he can find the energy.
Leo.
And that is going to conclude Leo's run. Fret not though, he did get into the top four, and he did pass the first three obstacles, so it's happy days there for Leo. Definitely so much untapped potential there from that individual. We know that when he steps up in Washington later this year, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Well, that means Flip Rodriguez is holding on to that number one position right now, but our last runner could absolutely threaten it. It's Jonathan Bainge. You can see him wearing that Austin Ninjas finalist shirt from last year's Premier Series. He's looking to become a two-time finalist with this run. Just has to clear the third obstacle. But if he wants to beat Flip, he'll have to get to the final obstacle in a minute 32 or less, or he could become our only elite challenge course finisher.
Yeah, Jonathan is crazy strong here and crazy powerful, super quick. Got so many great qualities behind him. It looks like he might be trying to reset here, knowing that his momentum is not in the direction that he wants it to be. He's looking backwards now. And this is feeling like similar to Leo, just those blades once they're going in the wrong direction. But he finds it. Hasn't wasted too much of his energy so far here.
All right, now he's going to grab the inside of the propellers. He's facing the opposite direction, but he's turning himself around. Should be good to go on this swing here. Nice throw and dismount. He's still got a lot of time. He's definitely behind Flip's pace right now, but he's going to finals, and he does still have enough time on the clock to become our first finisher.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's going to come down to now. Flip probably going to be holding on to the pace award, but can Jonathan come through and just clean sweep everyone with a finish? We have full confidence he's capable. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Great dismount there
obstacles
coming.
to go.
Mega Charizard, our balance gauntlet. He's going to work his way over to that second slack line. Grabs hold of those canes. Keeping very calm right now. A little wobbly, but it's nothing too threatening for him. Handling this like the pro he is. And he's going to do the same thing Flip did, only using his feet on that balance tank. Such a fundamental obstacle in the sense that it's something that our athletes have been training since their first days in Ninja. Such an iconic, classic obstacle. So it's no surprise that Jonathan Bainge here is moving with poise on this. And it looks like Mr. JB is going to get the clear on this. He's going to have 25 seconds left. It is enough time to get 2 attempts on this obstacle, but he's not going to want to waste time. And of course, he's going to want to hold on tightly to this. Come on, JB.
This grab.
Oh, no, he's a little sideways there. Catches it. No. Oh. One hand on it tightly. The other was on the very far end. And now he's going to
I'll tell you what, talk about a difficult grab here. This grab is no joke. And Jonathan now going to be lining up his second attempt. The red lights are going 5 seconds.
Oh, no. He tipped the second side of it away from him, more towards his face than his hand. And that is going to cost him. You could see the adjustment that he made on spin to win. That was a great veteran move to reset the obstacle and then retry his technique there. I love that. But this obstacle was just so grueling. No clears in the elite division on our challenge course today. But all 4 of our athletes have qualified for the Premier Series finals, with Leo Riveron taking 4th, Jonathan Bange taking the bronze, Weston Boswell in 2nd, and our top time of the day is from Mr. Flip Rodriguez to that final obstacle. Amazing job, everyone. Oh, someone hit the buzzer for fun. Someone hit the buzzer for fun.
And I'll tell you what, Kane. I think that final obstacle for that cat grab, we might be seeing more of that grip in the future. It's an incredible innovation in the sport, taking it to the next level, which is what we're always interested in doing with our competitors. And across the elite field, just getting a grab like that would just be so difficult, even if you had multiple attempts at it. So it'll be interesting to see if we see that be reintroduced. And Kane, that is going to wrap up our amateurs and elite divisions. But fret not, we have so many more qualifiers coming up. And Kane, I think I'll let you speak on these ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Tune in just a couple weeks where we take it to the compound in Australia. They've hosted the Australian National Championships for 2 straight years now. Can't wait to see what they've got for us for the Premier Series. Then in Colorado, September 7th to 8th, we're going to Arc Ninja by Nate Hansen. It's going to be awesome to see such a new facility burst onto the scene the way they have been. Then we're taking it over to Life Force Ninja for their qualifier, not the finals yet, but their qualifier, September 21st and 22nd. A week later in the UK, we're going to be at the True Function Ninja Training Ground, followed by SoFlo Ninja Academy in Florida, October 12th and 13th. And then a week after SoFlo, we round out our qualifiers with Modus Ninjas, all before the finals, November 15th to 17th at Life Force Ninja. And be sure to tune in just a bit. We'll be rejoining you very shortly on a new stream for the team male and female divisions, where 14 more athletes will be battling it out on 2 courses. Be sure to stay tuned, folks.